The Hyundai Tucson has had a very interesting history in India. The first generation of the car was launched way back in 2004, that's almost 20 years. But unfortunately, it never really set sales charts on fire. But in 2022, things are a little different. The first reason is the popularity of compact SUVs in India with sales numbers of almost 30,000 every month. But as an upgrade for them, there are not many options, maybe one or two. The second reason is the fact that people are willing to spend a lot more to buy a new car. Take the XUV 700 for example, which cost almost 30 lakh rupees on road in India. And the third and the most important reason is the car itself. I mean, the new Hyundai Tucson looks like nothing else out on the road. But the question is, behind all this crazy exterior, does it have enough substance for it to feel like an upgrade, say, over the Hyundai Creta? Or is it going to be expensive just because it is imported and assembled in India? Up front, the new Hyundai Tucson looks aggressive, muscular in your face, and the main reason for that is this dark chrome grille, which looks really nice. And the question is, where are the LED DRLs? Well, they are neatly hidden behind these dark lenses, and when they come on, they make their presence felt. From the rear, the new Hyundai Tucson looks more normal, but what brings in the wow factor are these connected LED tail lamps, and the details in them really catches your attention. You might notice, oh, there's no rear wiper on such an expensive car. Well, it is actually neatly tucked away under the rear spoiler to give it a clean look. In profile, you actually realize this car is quite big. As compared to something like a Creta, it is more than 300 millimeters longer. In terms of design, because of the abstract lines, all the cuts and creases, it might not be to everyone's liking. Is it beautiful? I'm not too sure. Is it striking? Will it grab your attention? Definitely yes. On the inside, the new Tucson looks quite classy, unlike the exterior, which looks crazy. But the good thing is, in terms of ambience, it's really good. The cabin feels really airy. Even in terms of quality, the Tucson really impresses you. You get soft touch materials on the dash, on the door pads, on all the touch points. Then there are elements like the fabric on the dash panel and the beautifully knurled finish on the control stalks. And when you add all of that together, the Tucson's cabin feels properly premium. In fact, the overall interior quality and ambience is the best you can get on any Hyundai car. Now, this is going to be an expensive car, but you get a lot of wow features as well. For example, you get a panoramic sunroof, cooled and heated front seats, powered front seats with memory function for the driver's seat. You get two 10.25-inch displays for the central screen and for the driver's instrumentation, and you also get a premium Bose sound system. Now, both these screens, we have already seen them on the Hyundai Alcazar, and it's no bad thing because the display itself is quite crisp, it is easy to use, and even the driver's display is really crisp and it gives you loads of information right under your nose. What I'm not a big fan of are these touch-sensitive controls for the shortcuts, and you really have to take your eyes off the road to operate them. The Hyundai Tucson proves to be a great family car as well. The reason for that is the fact that you get loads of storage spaces both at the front and the rear seat. Not only that, the boot at more than 500 liters makes it a great weekend getaway car as well. You also get 60/40 split folding rear seats for added practicality. And the good thing is the seats fold flat, so sliding large items ahead won't be an issue. You also get thoughtfully placed levers to fold the rear seats in the boot itself, which is a nice touch. So if you're buying a car like the Tucson, which will cost way over 30 lakh rupees on road, then you can be lazy. Obviously, most of the people who buy the Tucson will have a chauffeur. So in that case, rear seat experience becomes all the more important. And this time around, Hyundai has done a great job because what they have got over here is the long wheelbase version, because of which there's loads of knee room at the back. Even headroom is not bad at all. And the seat itself, you get good under thigh support, good back support as well. If I have to complain, there are 2 or 3 things. For example, like in the Creta, you don't get a rear sunblind, which I think is a miss. The second thing is you sit a little low in the rear seat, because of which the window line is a little high. But yes, you get a big panoramic sunroof, because of which you don't really feel hemmed in over here. But the biggest party trick over here are these 2 buttons on the front seat. This is full boss mode. And the good thing is, the rear seat also reclines quite a bit. So you can just relax and enjoy the drive. What's the point of having loads and loads of space, loads of headroom and great seating comfort if you don't have a good ride quality, right? So even in terms of ride, there are mostly good things to say about the Hyundai Tucson. So at low speed, small to medium sized bumps are taken really well. It's only over hard edged potholes that's where the suspension tends to bottom out sometimes, where you hear a thud sound. If I wanted to improve one thing about the Tucson's ride is at higher speeds, over undulating surfaces, the rear tends to bounce a little bit, where it takes a bit longer to settle back. But other than that, there's not much to complain over here. So overall in the Tucson, as a chauffeur-driven car, you will definitely feel like a boss. The new Hyundai Tucson comes with both petrol and diesel engine options, with only automatic transmissions. So if you want a fun to drive Tucson, then surprisingly our choice will be the diesel, because it is a lot more powerful than the petrol, plus it has a lot more punch and it is stockier. So overall performance is more effortless in the diesel. It is not only the punchy diesel engine that impresses you, it's also the 8-speed automatic transmission, which always finds the right gear at the right time, because of which overall the driving experience, especially with the diesel, is really good. One place where the petrol has an advantage over the diesel is obviously refinement, where even at idle you know that there's a diesel engine under the hood, but for a diesel engine it is actually quite refined. Now if you want a car for city commutes and you don't drive too much, then you can also think of buying the petrol Tucson. The biggest advantage that the petrol Tucson has over the diesel is obviously, one is refinement. The second is the fact that because of the lighter engine and it doesn't come with all-wheel drive, it just feels more nimble while driving. The steering is also lighter. The petrol motor's 6-speed automatic transmission is smooth enough, which makes overall driving experience in the city very easy. The only place where we wish the petrol had more power is while overtaking. The petrol 6-speed auto is not the best when it comes to quick downshifts, and the engine too lacks the outright punch that you get with the diesel engine. The Tucson in the top variant is offered with level 2 ADAS system, and in our experience, it works wonderfully. It is not too sensitive unlike in some other cars, and it will definitely reduce driving stress and keep you safer, be it while driving in the city, cruising on the highway, or even while parking. Now coming to handling, this is where I think maybe Hyundai should have come up with a Tucson that is a bit sportier to drive. Don't get me wrong, the Tucson feels tight, it feels safe, predictable around corners, but it doesn't really feel fun, where the steering feels a little slow off center, and it doesn't really have the dynamic ability or the fun to drive nature of something like a Jeep Compass. Overall, the new Hyundai Tucson is genuinely a great overall product. In fact, we were having a hard time trying to find faults with it. In fact, they weren't really faults, they were more like us cribbing about things that are not really deal breakers. For example, we wished it was a bit more sporty to drive. Maybe the rear seat's ride quality could have been more pliant, and that's about it. It is a head turner on the outside, the interior quality is premium, it is a very practical car, both the petrol and the diesel options are potent enough, and it drives well too. Finally, this time around, the Hyundai Tucson is making a very strong case for itself.